Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today we are back on with the standard hi-fi record player. And today we're going to have a look at the transistor amp in it. I think we'll strip this out and we'll take a few of these caps off. We'll test them just by the by, but yeah, we're going to recap this thing and make sure there's nothing else amiss with it. So without further ado, let's get this metal plate off so we can actually see the amplifier a little bit better. Get this off. Boom, boom. This should be a really nice player when I've finished it. I'm warming to this player, really. It all depends on how good we can get that deck to play, really. I mean, I'm hoping this amplifier should sound quite nice when it's recapped as well. Well, some of these early transistor amplifiers can sound fairly good, actually. It's not really early, but you know what I mean. Ones with a audio output transformer rather than the later transformerless designs is more what I mean. There we go, we're in there. Let's put these screws and that out of the way. Can we get this? I wonder how that comes off. Right, let's take these. Oh, they come off easy. Take the knobs off. I wonder if this comes off. Oh, it looks like it does. At least it lifts up. There's screw holes under there. How do I get to that? Can't see anything on the inside. I don't want to force anything or damage anything. Does it just pull out? So I don't want to put too much force on it and damage anything. It would be nice if that come off though. I can't see anything. I don't want to really risk levering on anything and doing any permanent damage to the front. I would really like. Aha! We have screws. Let's take these out and see if we can get the front off. I need a better screwdriver than that one. There we go. That's coming out okay. Some of these aren't coming out, so let's see if we can get hold of them with some pliers and see if we can get them out that way. Yeah, we're starting them now. Sometimes you just have to do that a couple of times and then you can get a screwdriver on them and they will unscrew then. And now that one's just pushing back in. I think we may have to do a little bit of work to whatever's behind there before we put the screws back in. Yeah, I think the wood's gone behind there. It's pulled straight out, but we can sort that out once we've got these out. That's coming now. There we go. Hopefully that's just a sign that it's been a bit damp at some point. There's no woodworm or anything there. Well, there's no woodworm holes, so I think we're alright on that front. Let's see if this will come off now. Come free there, so what else is holding it? Can't see inside. There's a can see a tiny little screw in that corner, well, a little nut in that corner there. Let's see if that's it. Big. That's too small. Let's try that. This is going to be a pain, I'm absolutely sure of it. Yeah, I can't quite get in there. I'm not even sure whether that's actually going to help me at all. I wonder if... I really do want to try and get this front off, you see, so I can perhaps push some of them dents out of the speaker grill. It would help the appearance of it. That's definitely been held on by something at the top. And I don't want to pull that up, so I don't know. Was that meant to just pull up? No, I'm going to break something if I just yank on that. I'm going to break something. So how the hell does that come off? Is it glued somewhere? I don't think it's glued anywhere. And that whole plate there that holds the control knobs on, that looks like it comes off in one, because I can see the screws on the back of it. But I can't see how to get it out of the cabinet without having that off first. Let's get hold of that with these. Really awkward to be able to see where the actual fixing is here. It's a bit of a pain in the whatnot. I've got it. I think I got it. Yeah, it's undoing. There we go. That's that off. I think that's an earth to the front. That come off the speaker, and that goes. Yeah, it goes to one side of the speaker. That. How's that giving us any help? Not by the look of that. So how on earth does this come off? We may have to. I may have to concede that we won't get that off there. That's a bit of a pain. I was hoping to, as I said, I was hoping to dismantle this a bit further. For cleaning, I can see them screw holes there now. But like I said, I'm going to break that if I, carry on like this. I'm going to pull out, is it? No, that's me just bending that up. That's not good. Yeah, that's going to be a problem, that. Right. I was hoping to be able to take the speaker out so I could, in fact, that might be a good idea. If I take the speaker out, I could possibly push them dents out from just behind where the speaker is. See if we can get something to get them nuts off there. Try this. It's too big. That's it. That's the first one out. They are rather rusty, these, actually, so I think this has been damped sometime in its past. I might have to wait until I've got the amplifier. Yeah, I'm going to have to get the amplifier board loose before I can get them out. I'll just drop the screws in there so we don't lose them. There we go. That's the amplifier board free. Now let's get them last two screws out. We can get the speaker out. It's a very thin wire that this whole thing's wired together with. Okay, that's that one out. Let's get this last one here out. Oops. Okay, now hopefully we can lift the speaker out. And the speaker won't come out because of the controls here. This is turning out to be a bit of a pain. Right, let's no, they're not. They'll do. Right, so we'll have to just drop these. I was hoping to drop these out on the plate and drop the whole thing out, but because we can't get this top piece off, that's not going to happen, so we'll have to drop them out of the plate and take them out one at a time, which means I'll have to be careful to put them back in the right order. That's the first one off. That's that one off. And this should be the last one. That's that one out. Now we should be able to drop the controls out now. There we go. That's the controls out. And we can lift the amplifier and the speaker now out of the cabinet. Come on. There we go. And that should be, there we are. Now let's get this to one side, get that out of the way. Yeah, it looks like I can get to most of them dents in the front of the speaker now, with the speaker out of the way. So I'll attend to that at a later time, and let's look at the amplifier proper now. Oh, excuse me. And here we go. Let's get this spread out nicely on the bench. Okay, there we go. We've got our... Can you see that okay on there? Shall I perhaps just come down a little bit? There we are. And that's everything. So we can keep that all neat and tidy, and we'll know where everything goes back. So that's our volume control, bass and treble there. This is our main board with some of these. I have a feeling that this has had possibly had some work done on it in the past. I'm not sure whether these little 20 UF capacitors there have not been. I don't know. Can't really see from the soldering. It doesn't look like there's any rework been done on that. But anyway, I think what we will do is we will replace these electrolytics here. I think Shall we replace these metal moulds as well? I think we're probably best off replacing these as well, because like I said, they are really just basically a wax paper capacitor in a plastic encapsulation, and they do go leaky. They're not as bad in transistorized equipment, I must admit, as you find them in valve equipment, but even so, we want this thing to be good and reliable for any future owner, so I think as a matter of course we'll swap them out as well. So let's make a start on that. Let's start with this one. We've got 100 UF at 10 volts. Now let's see what we've got in our capacitor stock. Where's my capacitor stock? There it is. I'm knocking things over again. My heat shrink's just gone flying. My ESR meter's just gone flying. Never mind. Right. Now what did I say? I said 100 UF, didn't I? I've got plenty of them, so that's 100 UF. So let's take the old one out. In fact, there's two 100 UFs there, so let's replace both of them. Hopefully the iron's heated up by this point. And these very old circuit boards, basically the tracks lift for fun, and one of the easiest ways I've found to get the old components off is literally to just heat it up and pull them out like that. You seem to do far less damage to the board doing that than you do even with solder sucker and braid. I really don't like this very old circuit board, but it's what you have to deal with. Right, that's out that way, and positive is on this side. We will have to clean that hole up a little bit, I think. Come on. Ah, there we go. Take our new capacitor. Oh yes, and as you can see here, straight away, you can see that has been leaking there, so in fact we'll just give that a really quick, just a little quick clean while we're in here. I didn't set that up, I promise I didn't set that up. After my last video, I honestly do just drop things all the time. Let's get that bit of capacitor leakage off. In fact, you can see, if you look on the old capacitor there, you can see how much it's been leaking electrolyte. And I said, when I've encountered these in vintage TVs in the past, generally speaking, every one of them's been leaky. So let's replace that with this nice new one. And that was a 10 volt rated component, and I think these are rated like 35 volts, so that's even better. Just slightly raised off the board there, but that's fine. Let's get some solder out. There we go. Legs. I'm short of legs because these come in handy for all sorts of bridging applications and stuff, so I always like to keep a few spare legs like that. Right, and there we go, that's the first new capacitor in. Let's do this one next. And again, positive is on this side, negative on the other side. It is this one here. So again, we go in with the iron, just heat it gently. I'll pop that out. Let's go on the other side. pop that out. There we go. That's the old one out, and again you can see that's definitely been leaking. Just have to clean. Just take a bit of that solder off from there. Come on, there we go. That's the hole exposed. Positive in there, negative go through in there. Push that down. There we go. Solder that in place. Then two done, and then we've got that one there. Again, positive is this way, and that one is again, that is, oh, that's another 100. There we go. And once again, that's all leaking electrolyte. That's horrible. Put the new one in. Not so bad on that side actually, that one. Give it a quick clean there. There we go, so that's three electrolytics replaced so far. There's two minds whether to change these ones. You know, I might pull one of them out and have a quick look at it. You know, stick it on the ASI meter and see what it behaves like. But I have a feeling they might not be original. Oh, I don't know, I think they are original. Let's whip one out and have a look. Oh dear, I think someone's used that as a bodge. Let me cut this here. I think that's the leg to that capacitor that's used to bridge two tracks together there. As it says. Right, let's have a look. We know positive is that way up. Right, so let's just try that on the ASI meter and see what it comes out as. Get the old ASI meter out. And that is 20 UF at 10 volts. Well, the closest on this is 22 UF. We can do the 10, so that should be 3 ohms. So let's connect this up and see. Well, its ESR is absolutely fine actually. It's coming out as 1.2 ohms. And it's telling us for a 10 it should be 3 ohms. So yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Doesn't appear to have any leakage on it either, so should I replace them all? You know what, see, like I said, I really probably will end up selling this record player, so For peace of mind, yeah, we're going to change them. And then at least the new owner knows that it's not going to have any problems at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. And I need to order some more 22 UF capacitors. We can change the original ones, like I said, were 20 UF, and we're going to change them for 22. That's absolutely fine. I think these are a higher voltage rating again. In fact, even though the ESR on that capacitor was fine, it looks like the rubber on the bottom is degrading because it's actually stuck. It's stuck to the board here. So I think there probably is as well for us to change them, and then, like I said, it's peace of mind for the future. So we'll stick a nice new one. These are 22 UF at 35 volts, so again we're going up in voltage, but that's not really a major issue. You shouldn't go down in voltage unless you're you know what you're doing and you know it's okay to do so, but as I said, it's fine to go up in voltage, at least a little bit. And we'll do what they did on the previous one, so we'll solder it there, like that. Then we'll bend it to touch that pad there, and we'll solder it onto that pad there. Like that. That's that one done. You will let me know in the comments whether you actually want to watch me change every capacitor in something like this, or whether you'd rather me just edit it out and jump after I've done a few. Because I would like to make my videos at least a bit better, and if people could let me know things like that, it would be most appreciated. That's that side out. That's the positive side. That one's 30 UF, oh right, so they're not all the same. Right, I think I've got a 30 UF. UF, and it goes that way. Yeah, I've got a 30 UF. Well, 33 UF again, like I said, it's not a big deal, that. That in there. Put that down so you can see me a bit better here. There we go. Well, hopefully I haven't missed too much, because the like I said, the camera did its usual thing and stopped recording. But so as you can see, I've just changed that one, that one, that one, that one. I've just got 3 more electrolytic capacitors to change. We'll do this one here over here. That's a 20 UF. Let's get that out, and that one, the positive is that way. There we go, that's out. Positive down. Just to clear the holes. Like that. making sure the legs on that transistor weren't shorted, because it looks like there's only one lead that's actually got a sleeve on it. It's a bit dodgy, really. You usually expect at least two to be sleeved if it's a three-legged device, but it looks like there's only one on that one. Snip that off, put them in there. Yeah, no, I don't like that idea. I'd rather have what have we got here? What are you? You're a 20 and you're a 20. Good. So let's do you. Come on. Ah, it's on the wrong pad then. What's that side out? Plus side out that. And I think this is the negative there. There we go. That in there. That in there. Okay, one more electrolytic capacitor. Yeah, I'm losing my ability to speak. One more electrolytic capacitor to go, which is this one here. That side out, and that is the positive side. That's the negative out. Just clean that up. There we go, that's all the electrolytic capacitors now replaced with nice modern new ones. That should be quite a lot better than it was before. Now what we're going to do is change that 2, 3, 4, 5 wax paper capacitors. So we've got need a 0.47 UF. Let's see what we've got to replace that with. We've got one up here. No, I'll have to get my other set of capacitors out, I think. So I'm prepared for a load of things to fall over while I rummage out these. There they go. Aha. So that was a 0.47. Was it not? 0.047. So these are slightly overkill because they're like 630 volt rated, but they'll certainly do the job. I mean, these ones are 250 volt rated, so it doesn't matter too much that. thought that was something fall over, it was just a bit of settlage. Let's have these out of here. Come on. It's a bigger leg, it just needs that little bit more heat on it to get it out. There we go, that's out. And hopefully this one will pull out as well. There we go. We'll slip the new one in. These green dip capacitors actually don't look too out of place on a vintage board. They don't stand out like a sore thumb like some modern capacitors would. I regularly use them in well, they are for my valve repair, and even on point to point they don't look horrendous. And on old circuit boards, like I said, they do actually look reasonably vintage. What else have we got to change in here? We have got this one here, which is 0.22 UF. Got anything up there to do that, or we're going to have to use the same? I think we'll have to do the same, use one of them ones. Come on. There we go, that's one side of it out. And that's the other side out. So that is a 0.22 UF. Let's see what we've got to replace that with. Ah, there we go. Knew I had something suitable. Again, same little orange dip. Although we will have to bend the legs on this in a slightly unconventional way to mount it. But it will work just as well. Get that soldered into place. Side. On that side. Like that. That don't look too bad. Now we've got, what have we got here? That's a 0.01, so let's take that one out. Which one's that connected to? It's definitely that one there. Let's try the other side of it first, which is down It would be, it'd be down here, wouldn't it? There we go, that's that side out. Now hopefully we can pull this side out. There we go, so that's out. Then we just need to clean these tags up. Now that one's lifted, unfortunately, and this is what does happen with these boards. Hopefully we can save that though. Let's see if we can get the hole there. There we go. The two holes we need. Let's see what this capacitor is. Yes, it's a 0.01 UF now. I think, let's see what the best ones to replace that will be. Now I only have, unfortunately, these more modern ones in that value, but it will work perfectly well. It's just it won't look as nice. Let's get that through the hole. Not quite unblock the hole there. There it is. There we go. Because we've lifted the pad on that side, we'll just bend the leg over and we'll solder the leg to the pad, and that makes sure we've got a super secure connection there. So just solder it along like that, and that's a good one. And then we had the black wire disconnect from here when we worked on it, so we don't want to catch that little red wire while we solder, so we'll move that out of the way. We'll make sure we get the black wire down. We'll bend that down like that flat so it pinches the black wire as well. Solder that there. Excess off, and there we go. The black wire's reattached and we've got the capacitor in position. So we've just got two more to do, and then it's we can give this thing a test and make sure it still works okay. Now this is a 0.001 UF, which I have got. Now they're not ideal because they are a ceramic, but I've got some of them right here. They will do. In fact, what else have I got in that? No, I think that will do. That should be the right one. They're not really audio capacitors then, but in a little transistorized circuit like this, it really won't make a major difference. That's that side out. And I think it's this one. Oh, that one there. There we go. That one out. I'll have to have that sticking up a little bit to make it fit, but I'll be fine. Stick that in position. We've got one last one to do, yes we have, which is that one there. Be a nice easy one. Okay. There we go. And this one is a 0.1 UF at 350 volts. And again, I've got one of them to go in there. Okay, and there we go. That is the amplifier recapped. Now hopefully we can give this a test and make sure it still works okay after its recapping treatment. It should in fact sound better than it did before, because it's not got them horrible nasty leaking capacitors in there. So what we will do is we'll hook it up to the bench power supply and my laptop here, where I've got the same royalty free I've got the same royalty free music that I had when we played the amplifier last time, so hopefully we can see if it's going to play again. Right, so we'll connect it up to a give it some volts. Just connect it up to my bench power supply to energise it, and we'll see what happens when we give it some power, and then we'll see what happens when we give it an audio signal. So let's switch the and there we go, it's obviously working. Obviously it's going to be a bit hummy because it's all out on the bench here, nothing's really earthed very well, but let's connect it up to the laptop and let's see what it sounds like when it plays through the laptop. So let's just bodge this back in like we did last time. We'll just twist this on there, twist that on there. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit buzzy because of the way we've got it all just lashed up, but let's see what we can do. I'll play the hopefully play something from the laptop here, and keep your fingers crossed that this is going to work. This last laptop's abysmally slow, so it can take a while for even just to play a piece of music. See if we can do anything about that buzz while we're come on, play something. Come on, behave. And then let me just reload the page. YouTube and all that, it's always plays up when you least when you don't want it to, doesn't it? So obviously with some of that buzzing is because nothing's grounded. Let's see if we can ground something. Let's get rid of some of it. Hopefully it will play in a second. Let's see what volts we're It's running at about 7 volts at the moment, which should be okay. Come on, you silly laptop. I'm using an old Toshiba MB200 here. It's what I used to drag around China with me, but I think it's not even good enough for that now. It's slowly grinding to a halt. I don't think it likes running with Windows 7 on it, to be honest. We should have some audio now. So why is that not playing through the... Certainly got a grounding issue there. I think our major problem is the fact that like I say, I've literally got it all out on the bench here, and I've not got these 3 pots grounded together. That's what's causing the hum that we've got there, and the fact that I've just got this really dodgily hacked together. But I mean, if you ignore the hum and you actually listen to the audio, it's not bad at all. So I'm pretty sure that the actually there. That's definitely a grounding issue. So when we get back in the record player, I think that'll go away. As I touch different things, I can make the hum better or worse. In fact, like I said, if I hold it all like that, it just goes to the background. If I let go, you can hear it come back. So I'm not too worried. Oh, let me just stop this. So I'm not too worried about that, really. Like I said, once I get it reassembled back in the record player, I think that hum will actually go away. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now, because I'm sure this is already quite a long video. So in the next installment we'll be looking at that deck and see if we can get that deck to play nice and smoothly, clean it properly, lubricate it, and then we'll be looking at putting all this back into the cabinet and making it back into a nice working record player. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed that. So thanks for watching and goodbye.